Beautiful love.
Morning everybody, this is an early morning video. I've not done this properly before, but for about 30 years I've been recording culture and lifestyle all over the place really, starting in Plymouth and then going all over Europe. And it started off in 1992-93 when I was at Plymouth College of Art and Design. I was using their facilities to start doing documentaries in photography and film and experimenting with film. And since then I've worked with an awful lot of people. I've taken thousands of pictures all over Europe, so I've got a bigger picture of what's going on socially in my head than most people. Over the last few years, this is a short video really on catching up with the last few years anyway. Over the last few years I've been recording in Plymouth Barbican, and I met somebody there with mental health and physical problems. And the reason he's got those mental health and physical problems is because he had parents that were probably they were definitely alcoholics, but were probably on drugs as well. And he was born premature, and because of the problems that he had in birth and the fact that his parents were alcoholics, my friend has got serious mental and physical health problems. And he came to me for support about 4 years ago. And I've gone out of my way to support him and see him through situations. And I'm very angry with people that drink and take drugs and think it's okay to do so when they don't realise the damage it does to other people, especially pregnant women who've got children in their womb. And they're poisoning the children with alcohol and drugs basically. It's getting into the bloodstream through the umbilical cord. And then those children then have difficulties all the way through their lives, and sometimes find that the behaviour of their parents is probably the norm to behave. It's not fair on the children, it's not fair on society to have people like that behaving like that. And then you see people begging on the streets, and over the years I've seen them on the streets where I live in Plymouth, begging for money and then buying drugs and alcohol, and quite often smoking as well whilst they're on the streets. And all I see is people subsidising a habit and not helping to better people in society. And it starts at the top really, because when I was working for NATO, everything was based around massive drinking to the excess, obviously, with this massive drinking, and banquets in the evening. And in that situation you've got brains that are half sozzled trying to make rational decisions, and I don't see how that's possible. So I'm very concerned about my friend at the moment, because I don't know where he is at mentally, and it's a very difficult situation trying to be there for somebody that you care for when you don't know where they are mentally and physically. And if you care about people, which is what my work's all about, and it always has been about looking at the best in people, then there's you can only be there as a background support for somebody sometimes, because I don't want to put pressure on people, and there's a very thin line between trying to advise somebody and trying to be controlling. And I'm not controlling in any way at all. All I try and do is to make people see the bright side and the better side of the way of doing things. And that's why I'm trying to show in my work basically, is using imagery to make people look at the exploratory side of life and the adventurous side of life, instead of all the destruction and the negativity that's going off around us, and which is also put on TV as well. All the television programs are about destruction and people fighting and being abusive. You look at the television soaps in the UK, it's all people being aggressive and abusive to each other, and the news is the same. So that's all that's being brought up in society, being fed to society at the moment, is people being destructive towards each other, instead of trying to work together for peace and understanding and trying to care for each other. I get frustrated and angry, and my anger spills over into the systems that I think have done wrong to people, or need to doing wrong to people, because I've always been a person that stands up for people that are the hardest done to, and I was bullied as a schoolboy, and I'm a person that holds back for a long time, and then I'm like a volcano. The pressure will release and go out. And when I was a schoolboy, I used to do a butcher's round in Cheshire, and I used to enjoy getting on my bike in the morning and delivering meat. And then one of the paper boys, who's also a schoolboy at the same school I was at, told him that I delivered paper for him up a long driveway to a very rich person's house where I was delivering meat to. And then he got to the stage where he was expecting me to do that all the time for him, so he'd basically taken advantage of me. And he became a school prefect, and he was like the school bully anyway. And so I got fed up with him starting to bully me and bully me and bully me. And then one day, when he threw me out of the line for no reason in the playground, I took a punch at him. And I don't hit anybody. I think violence is the lowest form of anything, and it's not educated. And if you can't use your brain to sort things out, then you're failing, because if you use fists, that's not very intelligent at all. So I got thrown out of the line, and my brother made me out to be a hero for hitting back at this person. I'm not going to mention his name. And because my brother was making me out to be a hero, I got the cane because I was because they wanted to use me as an example. So I'm at a loss now, really. That's just going back to the beginning. So I'm at a loss now with how I can help my friend, because I'm not sure where he's at and where he's going at directionally. I've used an awful lot of energy during the last 4 years to try and help and support him, and he needs to find himself, but at the same time he needs the right sort of support to get him in the right direction. And if his parents hadn't been a problem in the first place, he would not have been in the position he's in now, where he's struggling to get through mental and physical health problems, which he has been since I met him. And I've arranged hospital meetings for him, got everything on track for him to try and get his health working in the right direction, because to a certain extent the system's failed him in Plymouth big time, because he's not under the support he needs. So I'm at a loss now as to what I can do to support him and help him go forward from a distance, because I don't want to get too close to him anymore, because I've done as much as I can do. But I just hope he finds himself, and I just wish that they get, if as far as I'm concerned, I wish they get rid of excessive drinking and get rid of drugs altogether, because the damage it does to people is overwhelming. And I just don't understand how it's acceptable in this day and age to allow so much heavy drinking in a place like Plymouth and other cities across the UK and the world as well, with the mental and physical damage it does to people, and also the cancers it produces as well. You can get 7 forms of cancer from alcohol alone, and then the brain shrinks, you break the motor neuron signals to the brain. And also, so like I said, going back to the beginning, so how can people think rationally when the brain shrunk and they got all motor neuron signals breaking up in the brain? But whilst this tax is being made on alcohol, and in other words, an awful lot of money being made by the system on alcohol, well, it's typical of the system really. Whilst they're making money, they seem to have very little regard to the mental and physical well-being of other people. So that's as far as probably I can go today, but I've made this video because I'm very concerned about my friend and where he's going, and he wouldn't be in the position he's in if it wasn't for bad parenting in the first place and a system that's not been there to back him up properly. I had to change his doctor because his doctor was failing him as well, wasn't giving him the diagnosing him for the needs he needed. So I just hope he finds himself and gets in the right direction he needs to take his life forward. Okay, that's it for now. Support well-being, respect life. 30 years of culture and the arts as a free service on Love Summertime TV. Don't forget to friend and share my videos, subscribe to my channel and support me through PayPal at tcsphoto1@gmail.com. Thanks for watching the video. It's free.